Hey golfers, welcome back to Second Swing. My name is Michael Geiger. I'm here with Larry Bobka. Larry, today we're chatting about one of the finer points of fitting, and that's hard stepping and soft stepping. This is something you kind of do to adjust an iron shaft. How would you describe hard stepping and soft stepping to a beginner?
Well, it's kind of a mythical thing a little bit, and I can kind of relate to where it started because, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, there wasn't as many different shafts and as different flexes available. So players would change the shafts that are available. That if they were playing a dynamic gold or a dynamic S shaft and they thought it was a little too soft and a dynamic X was a little bit too stiff, they would either soft step the X or hard step the S. Well,
Okay.
What does that really mean? I mean, when we're talking about hard stepping, and you can do it with a shaft that doesn't have steps on it, but stepping kind of came from because most of the original shafts, steel shafts, iron shafts, had steps in them. So the stepping became, well, really the distance from the first step to the top of the hosel. Okay, so this is a standard KBS Tour stiff flex shaft. If I alter this, if I tip a half an inch off this shaft and move this step a little bit closer, it's going to play stiffer.
Right.
Because we're moving the bigger diameters closer to the head, and it's going to play stiffer. Now, if I say wanted an extra stiff shaft, but it was a little bit too firm for me, well, you can soft step it by, instead of using, if this is a 5-iron, and instead of using the 5-iron shaft in the 5-iron, a manufacturer or a player might use a 4-iron shaft.
Okay.
So essentially, it's going to make that shaft play a little bit weaker. You're cutting a little bit more off the butt end. It's going to make it a little bit lighter. So in essence, it's going to make it a little bit softer flex and a little bit more feel. Used to get a lot of that in wedges back in the day because, again, didn't have as many different shafts. So players would a lot of times take X100 shafts, 7-iron shafts, and put them in 56-degree sand wedges.
Okay.
Just to give it a different, unique feel, give it a little more play on the bottom, make the shaft feel a little bit lighter. So, it's been around for a long time. You can do it on a graphite shaft.
Okay.
I mean, most shafts now are designed to go straight in. But if you want to make it stiffer, you can always tip the shaft.
Okay.
You can always cut a half inch or an inch. So, if you look on the internet, you look at Golf WRX, you'll see, somebody's got an XYZ shaft tipped an inch and a half. Well, they're just trying to make that feel different. They're trying to make that shaft play a little bit stiffer. Maybe trying to, especially on a graphite shaft, trying to maybe reduce the torque, the twist at impact. Mm-hmm. High-speed players, and it seems like we're getting faster and faster all the time. I'm trying to figure out how we can soft step regulars now for my game.
Okay.
But you're looking at, at college players, the elite players, the tour players. I mean, they swing so fast. It's hard for the shaft companies to keep coming up with a model to take care of their needs. So it's a lot easier going, well, hey, this driver felt really good, but it was just a little bit, well, let me build you another one. Tip it an inch, and we'll put it in, we'll see how it plays. Well, and the great thing with adjustable drivers now, you don't have to build another driver.
Right.
All you have to do is just build a shaft and a tip, put it in there for the player, and see how it feels.
Right. So if I'm an amateur, I feel like most players have a general idea. I'm a stiff, I'm a regular, I'm a senior flex, but it sounds like what you're saying is this is a really great tool in a fitter's toolbox to say, hey, maybe you're kind of in that Goldilocks zone where a stiff is a little bit too much and a regular is not enough. We can really drill down and get very hyper specific for your game.
Yeah, and it has to do with launch angle, spin rate, but a lot of it has to do with feel.
Right.
How does it feel when I'm swinging that club and I'm making impact? Does it feel like I'm doing it correctly? You know, sometimes numbers are all well and good, but at the end of the day, if I'm a really good player and I'm trying to get better, man, I want to make a swing with this 5-iron and hit it and watch it fly off there, and I want it to feel good. Because if it doesn't feel good, I'm not going to have as much confidence in it.
Sure.
You can have way more confidence when you've got a club in your hand that feels good and you confirm it with your fitter as far as the numbers, the launch angle, spin rate, ball speed's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for this great information. If you feel that maybe your iron shafts need a bit of a hard step, bit of a soft step, come into Second Swing today. One of our expert fitters will get you dialed in and help you hit better iron shots. Thank you for watching.